Jaron Stevenson and Henry Vessar, maybe the biggest front court in America. Great guards, Malik Mack and Lewis, preseason all Big East. Caleb Williams, Isaiah Abraham. And there's Evans around and out for three. There's Vessar. Wilson with a third chance. Sticks. Paper, it looks like a game where Georgetown has the guard advantage. Carolina has the big. Is that too simplistic?
It is not simplistic.
All in the early stages. Hasn't been at home for the last really 3 weeks. Here's Wilson. He's short on a 14-9 Georgetown. Wilson now into the body of in America in KJ Lewis, and in classic
that aggressive mentality that Ed Cooley appreciates.
Off the mark as Caleb Wilson's got his second rebound. Wilson trying to go coast to coast. He'll draw the foul.
Relationship, but enemies here to deceive.
Always a wonderful night for one of the Gritson with 5 for the balanced Tar Heels.
And right now, Caleb Williams has to be very careful playing against problem with the zone. It opens up opportunities on the offensive glass where North Carolina is so strong.
Wilson, Carolina trying to find a soft spot. That will do, but Wilson couldn't fit the three-point arc until now. Wilson trying to back down Isaiah Abraham, and he gets possession. Wilson will try to back down Mack with 8 inches of height, and Wilson strokes the lead. Evans, Bogavats, Wilson, back-to-back buckets. 15 in the game.
One thing about an Ed Cooley coach team, they're not going to beat themselves.
Alaifanua stuffed Wilson.
Bringing the big fella off the floor. Eat up the Tar Heels to see if they can turn them over. They're not going to be able.
Hanging around, down 6. Wilson. Tapping for Julius Alaifanua. Wilson against Williams. Wilson. Tough try.
Half coming back in the game. Coach Cooley just happy to have him on the floor.
15 points, the Tar Heel lead. Up top, Wilson couldn't throw it down.
Who that 4th, 5th guy is going to be. They have pretty much strong production on most nights.
There's Wilson, who's got 13 rebounds for North Carolina and hits a Ricks. And Love checked in for Abraham, who's being looked at on the bench. Bogavats. Too deep from 3.
Double figures for the backcourt of Georgetown, as we talked about. Malik Mack knocking down the 3. Remember, Hubert Davis telling us that shoot-around earlier today where the Tar Heels need to be better.
Great pass, but hard hit to the right shoulder. That shoulder's wrapped up.
Someone who has dealt with that and had shoulder in. You consider the way he went down with that shoulder injury to be back on the court right now, recognizing that there will be more contact to that shoulder. He's the toughest guy, absolutely toughest guy. Jersey, the junkyard dog, JYD, and he's about as tough as that guy.
Wilson, too tall, down 44%. Teams have both struggled from 3. Wilson, Stevenson, Dixon, got it.
Great ball. Is the only true returner that got minutes for the Tar Heels a season ago. Will absolutely make this team much better when he gets back. Doesn't really force the action much. I think the zone has really put him in a predicament where he's just trying to make the right play. Once again, that pass gets Stevenson a great look.
Career high scoring night for Dixon. Feeds Wilson. Bogavats, Stevenson.
Basketball, he would have a number of those, but he continues to make the right play. As Derek Dixon's 13 threes. Well, Caleb Williams is their best three-point shooter. They're going to need production from him.
Here's Lewis. Little seal from Alaifanua and a terrific.
Little to no resistance for the reverse layup.
Lewis operates again. Good find inside the bucket. Another year. Carolina's back on top. Lewis. Well already. Sophomore from Worcester. A tough 2 at the end of the shot clock. Is grabbed and put back in. But 13 for Lewis right now. More than half of Georgetown's points. What a find by Mack. Good. That was a find that was much better than the shot it got. And appropriate that we honor Stu today, Corey, because in just 3 days we're going to get a 30 for 30.
He's got Jay Williams on, and when you consider that, there's another guy by the name that had Jay Williams on his.
Up from Ed Cooley, wants us to be a team that has an edge defensively. Williams inside Fort, stopped by Vessar. Williams, Alaifanua, he is denied. So Williams will inbound. It was a 6.5 on Carolina. Here's a missed shot by C. Evaluated from a medical procedure in January. Mack got a good clean look.
J. Lewis, Malik Mack, the perimeter has to be more effective.
Lewis,
Monstrous dunk. Yeah, that's the only reason it doesn't look as though he's got 16 and 8 on the way to another 20 and 10.
Mack. Step back.
Yeah.
An amazing sliding doors moment. That is only the 10th time these teams have played. I like him. Williams, who came back from that hard shoulder injury in the first half, sets up Caleb Williams. Here's Fort. Strong into Vessar. Vessar took a shot to the face. Fort blocked from.
Great performance here, loving to get back on their home court.
I like Fanua rims it out.
He gets the pass out. The one more to the corner gets Stevenson a good look. And even though he's unable to.
It's grabbed by Lewis. Shot clock 5. Lewis off the mark.
For Caleb Wilson is the fact that Hubert Davis trusts him to take the ball out of bounds and underneath out of bounds play. That's not a position you put a guy that isn't capable of. Elite group of freshmen.
Malik Mack. Really needed Mack to have a big game.